I died, choking on my own blood. The knife buried in my gut twisting like a lover's betrayal. My son's tiny screams echoing in the warehouse as the flames licked higher. But death wasn't the end. It was a goddamn reset button, slamming me back into my 28-year-old body. 3 years before the inferno that stole everything. The first breath I took in that dingy Chicago apartment hit like a freight train, and all I could think was, this time, I'll burn them first. The air smelled of stale coffee and regret, the kind that clings to yellowed wallpaper in a South Side walk-up. It was 2022 again, and I was Eva Harlan, fresh off a shift at the ER. My scrubs still wrinkled from 12 hours of stitching up gangbangers and overdose kids. My hands trembled as I gripped the sink, staring at my reflection, eyes too wide, cheeks flushed like I'd seen a ghost. Because I had.
Me.
The future me, charred and furious, whispering plans in my ear like a devil on steroids. 3 years. That's all I had to unravel the knot of lies that led to my son's death and my own. It started with trust, the kind you give family because blood's supposed to be thicker than the Mississippi. My husband, Jake, God. Even his name tasted like ash now. Charming Jake, with his corner office smile and Wall Street dreams, who'd married me straight out of nursing school because I was exotic enough to impress his WASP clan. His mother, Lydia Harlan, queen of the garden club and silent architect of my misery, had hated me from day one. A Polish girl from the wrong side of the tracks, she'd sneered at our wedding, her voice dripping iced tea and disdain. But I swallowed it. For Jake. For the baby we made on accident. Little Theo, who lit up my world like a faulty bulb in a blackout. That morning, as I splashed water on my face, the memories flooded back unbidden. The funeral. Theo's tiny casket, white as bone, dwarfed by the sea of black suits in that overpriced Evanston chapel. Lydia, perched like a vulture in her Chanel suit, leaning in as the priest droned about eternal light. Her whisper, hot against my ear, good riddance to that mistake. Now focus on real grandchildren. Real. As if my brown-eyed boy, with my immigrant grandma's curls, wasn't flesh and blood. I'd frozen then, the grief a lead weight in my chest. But in the haze of sedatives and sorrow, I'd only whispered, "You're a monster."
Weak.
Pathetic.
But now?
Now I had fire in my veins. I dried my hands and glanced at the calendar, June 15th, 2022. Theo was still just a bump, 6 months along, kicking like he knew the storm coming. Jake was at his late meeting, which I'd learned later meant screwing his assistant in a loop hotel. The betrayal wasn't just infidelity, it was a goddamn conspiracy. Lydia had pulled strings, convinced Jake I was unstable, a gold digger draining his trust fund. She'd forged emails, planted doubts, all to push him toward someone suitable, her words like Marissa, the blonde paralegal who'd become his mistress, and my unwitting Judas. But the real secret? The one that gutted me worse than the knife? Theo wasn't Jake's. Not biologically. I'd had a one-night slip-up in nursing school. A dumb fling with a med student who ghosted me. Jake never knew. I buried it deep. Raised Theo as ours. Lydia's spies, her friends in the hospital admin, dug it up after Theo's birth. Used it like a noose. Illegitimate, she'd hissed once, when she thought I was asleep. It fueled her crusade to erase me, to make Jake see me as the liar I wasn't. And when Jake's firm tanked in a fraud scandal, her doing, Laundering money through shell companies to bail out her failing real estate empire, she blamed me. Pushed him to divorce. To take Theo. I fought. Got a restraining order. But she hired the warehouse goons. Arson to look like an accident. Insurance payout for Jake. Custody for her.
Clean.
Except I survived long enough to see her face on the news. Crocodile tears for the tragic loss. Not this time. I grabbed my phone. Fingers flying over the screen. First call, my old mentor at the hospital.
Dr.
Ramirez. Who I'd trusted until Lydia bought her silence.
Eva?
Everything okay? Her voice was warm. Wary. Just checking in on those old patient files. I lied smoothly. The future me coaching every word. The Harlan account, any discrepancies? A pause. Then a sigh. Girl, you know I can't, but I could hear the crack. The guilt. By the end of the call, she'd emailed me a redacted ledger, enough to see Lydia's fingerprints on the hospital's donations that greased palms. Next, I texted my brother,
Miko.
back in the old neighborhood. He was clean now,
Post-rehab.
but back then, he'd been her pawn, small-time courier for her dirty deals, thinking it was legit consulting.
Cease.
What's up? Baby okay? I swallowed the lump. In the old timeline, he'd OD'd 6 months after me. Guilt eating him alive. Need your help digging. Harlan Enterprises. Off books. He hesitated, Miko always did, but blood pulled harder than fear. On it. But Eva, Jake's mom. She's connected.
Yeah.
Connected like a noose. By noon, I was suited up, not scrubs, but the power pencil skirt I'd burned after the divorce hearing. Jake's office downtown. Glass tower screaming new money. The receptionist buzzed me up without a blink. I was still the dutiful wife then. Jake looked up from his desk. Tie loose. Surprise melting into that boyish grin. Babe, you're early. Everything all right with the little guy? He reached for my belly, but I sidestepped. Casual as a scalpel. We need to talk. My voice was steel. No tremor. He frowned, gesturing to the chair. What's wrong? Stressing about the nursery. I dropped the printouts, Ramirez's ledger. Cross-referenced with public filings I'd pulled on my laptop. Harlan Enterprises funneling cash through his firm's clients. Embezzlement.
Plain as day.
His face drained of color.
Eva.
What the hell? Where'd you get this? Your mother. The words hung like smoke. He laughed. Nervous. Mom? She's just helping with the books. You know how she is, old school. I leaned in, eyes locked. Old school like bribing hospital admins to spy on me? Or forging my psych evals to make me look crazy? His mouth opened.
Closed.
I'd hit the vein. In the future, he'd confessed it all on a drunk night. Post-fire. Before the cops dragged him away.
But now.
I twisted the knife slow. Sign the papers.
Jake.
Divorce.
Clean.
Or this goes to the feds. He bolted up. Chair scraping. You're bluffing. You wouldn't destroy us.
Us.
As if I was the bomb. Theo and I are us. You're collateral. The slap came fast, his palm cracking my cheek. The sting blooming hot. Future me screamed to gut him. But past me played smart. I touched my lip, blood beating, and smiled. Assault on a pregnant nurse. That's a story.
Jake.
And I know people.
Cops.
Mostly ER buddies who'd seen too much domestic shit. He deflated, slumping.
Eva. Please. Mom. She means well.
The firm's in trouble. This baby, it's our way out.
Out.
Like selling my son for a bailout. I gathered the papers. Deliberate. 48 hours. Or the world sees the Harlans for the white-collar thugs you are. I walked out, heels clicking like gunfire. The elevator descent a free-fall mirror to my soul. Back home, the apartment felt smaller, walls closing like the warehouse rafters. I locked the door, double-checked the deadbolt, paranoia from the future bleeding in. Theo kicked again. A Morse code of fight. I sank onto the couch, scrolling Miko's texts, leads on Lydia's shell companies.
A PI.
Contact for dirt. But the hook in my gut twisted deeper. The secret.
Mine.
If Jake dug, if Lydia pushed, the truth about Theo's father would explode. Not Jake's blood, Rafa. The ghost from med school, who'd vanished to California with his MD and my heart. I'd never told, never regretted, until Lydia weaponized it. Evening fell, Chicago's skyline bleeding orange through the blinds. Jake didn't call, he stewed. Good. Let him simmer. I cooked pasta, comfort food, the carbs for the baby, and ate alone. Plotting. Step 1. Financial firewall. I'd empty our joint account tomorrow. Lawyer up with the pro bono from the women's shelter. Step 2. Expose the bribes. Ramirez was cracking one more push, and she'd flip. Step 3. The big one. Confront Lydia. Not with words, with evidence. A recorded call. Maybe. Baiting her into admitting the psych eval forgery. My phone buzzed, unknown number. Heart slamming. I answered. Eva Harlan? A woman's voice. Clipped. East Coast. This is Detective Ruiz. Chicago PD. We need to talk about your husband.
Shit.
Too soon? No. Timeline check. The fraud probe started whispers in July. I'd accelerated it. About. I kept cool. Embezzlement allegations. His mother's names come up. Bingo. I'm happy to help. Coffee tomorrow. She agreed. 10 a.m. at a diner off Michigan Avenue. Sleep evaded me. Dreams splicing timelines, Theo's laugh morphing to screams. Lydia's face melting in hypothetical flames. Dawn broke gray. Rain pattering like accusations. I dressed for war. Jeans.
Blouse.
The locket with my Baptist photo for luck. The diner smelled of grease and desperation. Ruiz already there. Badge glinting under fluorescence. Mid-40s. No-nonsense Latina with a stare that peeled lies. MS. Harlan. You filed a complaint last month? Domestic disturbance. I nodded, stirring sugar into coffee I wouldn't drink. Jake's temper. Getting worse. Lied, that was future shit, but it greased the wheels. She slid a folder over. We're looking at Harlan Enterprises for money laundering. Your hubby's firm handled the accounts. You know anything? I flipped it open, wire transfers.
Dumicor. Lydia's signature.
Elegant as a guillotine. Enough to bury them. Ruiz's eyebrow arched. Care to elaborate? We talked an hour. Me feeding her threads, the hospital bribes, Jake's meetings, Lydia's garden club as a front for schmoozing officials. By the end, her notepad was full. My palms slick. This could get ugly.
Eva.
Retaliation. She meant threats. Tales.
Worse.
I met her eyes. Let them try. I've got nothing left to lose. Except everything.
Theo.
This second chance. Afternoon brought Miko, crashing through my door with takeout and a laptop. Cease. You weren't kidding. Lydia's got tentacles everywhere, city council. Even that judge from your wedding. His face, pockmarked from old acne, twisted in shame. I ran stuff for her once. Envelopes. Thought it was donations. I hugged him fierce. The brother I'd lost too soon last time. You're out now. Help me end it. We pored over docs till dusk. Bank records Miko hacked, don't ask. Cross-referenced with Ruiz's prelims. The secret heart, Lydia's empire built on opioid kickbacks from pharma reps, funneled through Jake's clients. She targeted me because I worked or saw the wreckage, testified in a deposition I'd forgotten till now. One line in a report, Nurse Harlan notes suspicious prescription patterns. Enough to spook her into full sabotage. Night fell. Jake's key in the lock. I tensed. Miko slipping to the bedroom. Jake stormed in. Eyes wild. Folder clutched like a shield. What the fuck?
Eva?
Cops? My mother? He flung it down. Papers scattering. I stood slow. Calm as a bomb tech. You hit me?
Jake.
You lied. And Theo? She's never touching him. He lunged, grabbing my arm. Bruise tomorrow's souvenir. You're hysterical. Pregnant hormones. Mom warned me. Miko exploded from hiding. Crowbar from God knows where raised. Back off. Asshole. Jake froze. Then laughed.
Bitter.
Your junkie brother?
Perfect.
This is why you're trash.
The word snapped something.
I wrenched free. Knee to his groin, your self-defense class paying off. He crumpled, wheezing. Get out.
Now.
Or Miko calls 911. He crawled up.
Atret pure.
You'll regret this. Mom's got lawyers. Judges. Doors slam, echoed like a gavel. Miko exhaled. Crowbar clattering.
Jesus. Eva.
You okay? I nodded, rubbing my belly. Better than ever. Tomorrow. We hit Lydia. But sleep?
Nah.
Adrenaline hummed. Future ghosts whispering, she's coming. Faster now. Rain lashed windows. Chicago's pulse syncing with mine, restless, vengeful. The next morning, I woke to texts from hell. Jake's lawyer. Cease and desist bullshit. Threats of custody battles. I deleted them, brewing tea strong as my resolve. Miko crashed on the couch, snoring off last night's tension. We had a plan, confront Lydia at her Lincoln Park brownstone. Evidence in hand, recorder rolling. No violence, this was chess, not street brawl. But damn if the future didn't tempt me with Molotov dreams. Dressed in armor, blazer over scrubs, hair pulled tight, I kissed Theo's bump goodbye and hit the L train north. The city blurred past, graffiti-tagged L stops. Suits hustling to high-rises. The lake a steel-gray mirror to my mood. Lydia's place loomed like a monument to old money, ivy-clad facade. Wrought iron gate screaming, keep out. Proles. I buzzed. Voice honeyed. Eva Harlan. Family visit. The intercom crackled. Her tone frosty. Wife dear, do come up. Tea. The foyer dripped opulence. Persian rugs. crystal vases with lilies that choked the air. Lydia waited at the top of the stairs, pearls gleaming like teeth, smile a veneer over venom.
Eva.
To what do I owe this? Surprise? She air-kissed.
Perfume Cloyín, Chanel no.
5. Same as the funeral spray. I followed to the parlor, sunlight slicing through shears, illuminating dust motes like secrets. Business? Lydia. I set my bag down. Phone hidden. App running. She poured Earl Grey. Hand steady as a surgeon's. Always so direct. The pregnancy suits you, glowing, despite the circumstances. Subtext, trailer trash breeding stock. I sipped.
Scalding.
Circumstances like your bribes to hospital staff, or the forged evals calling me bipolar. Her cup clinked. Saucer rattling. I beg your pardon? But her eyes, pale blue ice, flickered. Gotcha. I slid printouts across the antique table. Ramirez's emails. Miko's bank traces. Harlan Enterprises. Opiates laundering through Jake's firm. You targeted me because of my ER reports. Afraid I'd talk. Lydia composed herself, folding napkin precise. Slanderous nonsense. My son's firm is impeccable. As for you. She leaned in, voice a whisper blade. A girl like you, with secrets. That little indiscretion in school?
Rafa.
Wasn't it? How colorful. My blood iced.
How?
Spies deeper than I thought, nursing school alumni on her payroll. The secret.
Out.
But I didn't flinch. Stalking now? Classy. But Theo's mine. And if you push, the world learns about your pill mill empire. She laughed, tinkling as shattered glass. Threats? From a nurse playing detective? Jacob will annul this farce. The child, if it's his, won't darken our door. There it was, the funeral echo. Twisted early. Real grandchildren. I hit record louder in my mind, voice even. Admit it. Lydia. The psych forgeries. The money to silence Ramirez. All to break me. Take my boy. A beat. Then her mask slipped, lips curling. Eyes serpents.
Fine.
Yes. You were a liability. Jacob deserves better than your complications. And that bastard Spawn? A Harlan carries no taint.
Spawn.
The word ignited future rage. The warehouse flames roaring in my skull. I stood, chair scraping. You're done. Cops have the files. Your garden club friends? They'll see the headlines. Socialite mom launders drugs. Frames daughter-in-law. She rose too, face ashen but defiant. You'll never prove it. Blood buys silence.
Blood.
Like the blood on my hands in the fire. Theo's tiny form limp. I stepped close. Breath mingling. Try me. I've died for less. The words slipped, future ghost talking. Her pupils dilated. What? I turned, grabbing my bag. See you in court. Mother. Outside. Rain slicked the streets. My heart pounding syncopated. The recording gold. Miko transcribed it that afternoon. Time-stamped. Ready for Ruiz. But victory tasted bitter. She'd known about Rafa. Dig deeper. Call him? No, too risky. Opening old wounds. Instead, I hit the library. Public records dive. Birth certs. Marriage licenses. Lydia's first husband died accidentally, Insurance windfall. Pattern emerging. Widow's weeds hiding claws. Evening brought Jake to the door.
Soaked.
Eyes red-rimmed.
Eva. Talk.
Mom's freaking. Says you're unhinged. I blocked the threshold. Miko lurking. Unhinged? Like slapping your pregnant wife. Or laundering fentanyl cash. He paled. Glancing back at the street tail. Babe. It's not. She handles the investments. I didn't know.
Lies.
All of it. Future confessions replayed. Mom said it'd fix everything. Just sign. Sign this. I thrust divorce papers. Prepped by a shelter lawyer. No alimony chase, just freedom. Custody locked. He scanned.
Crumpling. No.
We can fix this. For the baby. Baby.
Theo.
I laughed.
Cold.
Theo's not yours.
Jake.
Never was. The bomb dropped. Casual as confetti. His face crumpled, shock. Then fury.
What?
You lying bitch. Miko stepped forward. But I waved him off. Let it burn. Rafa Kowalski. Med school. One night. But I chose you. Loved you. Till you chose her. He staggered back. Rain mixing with tears. Why now? Because now I know you'll kill for her lies. Because I'm done being your doormat. Get out. He left. A ghost in the downpour. And I bolted the door. Sliding down it. Sobs racking. Grief for the marriage that might have been. If not for her poison. Miko found me there. Wrapping a blanket. You did good.
Cease.
But she's not done.
No.
Lydia fought dirty. Next day. It escalated. Hospital HR call. Suspension pending investigation. Forged complaints, patient harassment, drug theft. Her reach. I stormed Ramirez's office.
Doorschlemming.
You sold me out. She flinched. Glasses fogging.
Eva.
I had no choice.
Debts.
Her donation cleared them. I played the recording, Lydia's admission. Ramirez blanched.
Dios mío.
I'll testify. Fix this. By noon, HR retracted. By evening, Ruiz had warrants brewing. But the pressure mounted. Slashed tires on my Civic. Anonymous calls breathing static threats. Leave town. Whore. Jake's voice? Or her hirelings? Week blurred into strategy sessions, Miko's PI. Unearthed more. Lydia's lover. A crooked alderman. Funneling city contracts her way. Leverage. I met him at a Gold Coast bar. Nursing a soda. Playing the jilted wife.
Konjilman hale.
We need to chat about Harlan kickbacks. He sweated through his suit. Denying till I flash photos, Miko's drone work. Envelopes exchanged in alleys. What do you want? Silence on her empire. In exchange? His testimony when the feds came knocking. Nights. I patrolled my dreams. Theo grown. Safe. Far from this rot. But reality intruded. Ultrasound appointment. Heartbeat thundering like applause. Healthy.
Mine.
The doctor. Oblivious. Cooed over kicks. I wept in the bathroom after. Terror gnawing. What if I failed? What if the fire came anyway? Climax brewed mid-July. Heat wave choking the city. Ruiz called. Raid on Harlan offices tomorrow. Stay low. Eva. But low wasn't me anymore. I drove to the brownstone. Uninvited. Storm raging outside. Lydia answered, disheveled, rare crack in armor. You again? Have you no shame? I pushed past, dripping on her rug. Shame? Like killing your husband for insurance? Or planning to accidentally warehouse me? Her laugh died.
Out.
But I had the ace. Alderman's signed affidavit. Fresh from his lawyer.
Elle sent.
All of it. She lunged for the phone. But I blocked. Recorder out. Admit the plan. Lydia. The divorce push. The goons. End this clean. Hysteria cracked her sobs. Then rage. You think you're better? Trailer trash with a bastard. Jacob was mine to save. The slap she landed stung. But I held. Voice steady. Save? You destroy. For what? A legacy of lies. Sirens wailed distant, raid timing perfect. She crumpled, whispering, I did it for him. Him.
Jake.
The twisted love that birthed monsters. Cops burst in minutes later. Cuffs clicking like fate. Lydia Harlan. You're under arrest. I watched from the parlor window as they let her out. Rain washing her mascara. Victory? Or just the first layer peeled? But the twist waited. Coiled like smoke. August scorched Chicago. Humidity turning streets to steam baths, mirroring the boil in my veins. Lydia's arrest hit the Trib front page, socialite snared in drug laundering sting, with my name buried in the byline. Tipster wife. Jake vanished. Holed up in a Michigan cabin. His firm dissolving like sugar in acid. I moved temporarily to Miko's place in Pilsen, safer. Walls tagged with murals of saints and skulls. A far cry from Southside ghosts. Pregnancy swelled. Theo's weight a anchor and a wings. Morning sick with revenge. I prepped for the baby. Thrift store crib. Stacks of onesies. A mobile of plastic stars. But sleep fled. Nightmare splicing timelines. Lydia's trial morphing to the fire. Her testimony. Eva was unstable. She threatened us. Lies. But juries loved pedigrees. Ruiz updated weekly. Lydia lawyered up with sharks from D.C. Plea bargaining down to 5 years. She's singing on the alderman to lighten it, Ruiz said over diner coffee. Her badge a talisman. But Jake? He's the weak link. Hiding assets. I nodded. Stirring creamer into black. Find him. I want the divorce finalized before Theo breathes air. Miko's PI. Tracked Jake to a dive bar in Gary, Indiana, Steel Town ruin, where dreams rusted beside mills. I drove solo, belly protesting the bumps. .38 in the glove box, borrowed from Miko. Post threats. The bar reeked of stale beer and despair. Neon buzzing luckies over pool tables scarred like old wounds. Jake hunched at the end. Whiskey neat. Beard scruffy, unrecognizable from the golden boy.
Eva.
He spotted me. Glass pausing mid-sip. No fight. Just defeat. I slid onto the stool. Ordering water. Sign. Papers for my purse. Notary stamped. He scanned, chuckling hollow. Custody to you. No claim on. Him.
Te.
The word hung. Unsaid. Why'd you come? To gloat?
No.
To end it. Voice low. For his ears. Lydia's poison. You let it in. He slammed the glass. Amber sloshing. She saved me. Dad's debts, after he died. We were broke. Her investments kept the roof.
Died.
The accident. I leaned in. Like she'll try with me? Warehouse fire. Insurance clean? His eyes widened guilt, not shock.
What?
No, I'd never, but the stutter sold him. Future confession echoed. Mom suggested it. Make it look like you ran. You knew. Whisper. Venom. He buried his face. Not the fire.
Just.
Pressure you to leave. Pills in your coffee. Make you seem crazy. But you fought. Always fighting. Pills. The hormone imbalance diagnosis pre-fire. Meds that fogged my brain. Her touch. I gripped the bar. Knuckles white. Sign.
Jake.
Or I tell Ruiz about the coffee.
He did.
Pen shaking. Ink blotching like tears.
I'm sorry.
For everything.
Sorry.
Too late for absolution. Back in Pilsen. Papers filed. I exhaled. First real breath in months. But controversy brewed. Media hounds sniffed my door. Sun-Times headline nurse hero or homewrecker? Lydia's camp leaked the Rafa secret, painting me the scarlet adulteress. Texts from concerned nurses, slut. Calls from Jake's family, disowning you. The betrayal deepened, roots in my own silence. I called Rafa. Number from an old alumni site. Voicemail. Dr. Kowalski here. Leave a message. Heart hammering. Rafa. It's Eva. From Northwestern.
Need to talk.
About.
Us.
And a boy named Theo.
Click.
Days passed. Silence.
Then.
A reply. Coffee in Wicker Park. Neutral ground. He looked good, older. Silver threading dark hair. Scrubs traded for chinos. Our doc now. LA transplant back for a conference.
Eva.
Hug awkward. Scent of antiseptic and cologne stirring ghosts. We sat. Lattes steaming. The message. Theo. I nodded. Ultrasound photo sliding across. His eyes traced the grainy form, jaw tightening. Mine.
Yeah.
No sugarcoat. Never told you. Or Jake. Raised him as his. Past tense slipped, future tense. He exhaled slow. Why now? The floodgates. Lydia's leaks. The trial buzz. My need for truth is shield. They're calling him a bastard. Weaponizing it. Rafa's hand covered mine.
Warm.
I'm sorry. I bailed, scared kid. Chasing residency. But if he's mine, I want in.
In.
Fatherhood. Retroactive. Controversy incarnate. Divorce ink dry. But biology rewriting scripts. Not yet. Trial first. But after. He nodded.
Fierce.
DNA test. Whatever. I'm here. We talked hours, lost years. Med school laughs. The what-ifs. Sparks flickered. Old flame banked but glowing. But I pulled back. Revenge first. Romance a luxury. Trial loomed. September chill nipping. Lydia's arraignment. Circus of flashes. Her in orange jumpsuit. Dignity shredded. I testified second day. Stand creaking under spotlights.
The Meesters.
Harlan. Described the forgeries. Voice steady. I detailed emails. Evals. Her voice from the recording booming through speakers. That bastard spawn? Gasps rippled. Her glare bored holes. But I met it. Burn.
Bitch.
Cross-exam. Her lawyer. Silk-suited snake. MS. Harlan. Isn't it true you committed adultery? Deceived your husband. The courtroom hushed. I smiled. Future steel.
Yes.
One night. College. But I built a family. Lydia destroyed it for money. Control. Murmurs swelled. Judge banged gavel. Jury swayed. Her grieving mother, act cracking. But the twist uncoiled mid-trial. Jake took the stand. Subpoenaed. Reluctant. DA grilled. Knowledge of laundering? He squirmed. Suspected. Mom handled it. Then bombshell. Eva knew too.
Push me to invest.
Greedy.
Lie.
Gasps. My lawyer objecting furious. But damage done, jury eyes shifted.
Doubt seating.
After. In the hall. Jake cornered me. Breath whiskey.
Had to.
Mom's deal, leniency, if I flip the script. Betrayal anew. Deeper cut. You sold me out. Again. He shrugged. Broken. Survival. I spat at his feet. Storming out to Miko's wait. He's dead to us. Rafa appeared next day. Courthouse steps. Saw the news. You okay? Arm around me.
Solidarity.
Paparazzi snapped. Scandal fuel. Mystery man with betrayed wife? A controversy peaked. Talk shows buzzing. Hero or harlot? I ignored. Focusing, Theo's room. Now with a Polish name plaque, Miko's gift. Trial dragged weeks. Evidence mounting. Ledgers. Witnesses, Ramirez. Hale. Lydia's defense crumbled. Plea accepted, 10 years. No parole. Sentencing. Her sob-story allocution. I only wanted to protect my son. Judge. Your protection poisons. Gavel fell. She was led away. Last glance a curse. Outside. Rain again, Chicago's theme. Reporters swarmed. I pushed through. Rafa shielding. Eva. The father, is he stepping up? Flashbulbs blinded. I turned. Mic in face. Theo's father is a good man. And he's loved from day one.
Truth.
Partial. Hooks retracted, jaws dropped. Home. I collapsed. Belly aching. Contractions? No, Braxton Hicks. Stress spawn. Miko brewed tea. Rafa lingered. Hand on bump. We could try. For him.
Try.
The word tempted. Future unwritten. But revenge's aftertaste lingered. Was justice enough? Or did scars demand more? October, leaves turned blood red, mirroring the ledger's ink. Jake surfaced, begging meeting neutral park. Benches slick with dew. He looked hollowed, eyes haunted.
Eva. The plea.
She ratted on me too. Feds want accessory. Schadenfreude, soured quick. Karma. Jake. He knelt. Absurd.
Please.
Testify character. For old times. Laughter barked. Old times? You drugged me. Slapped me. Sold me for mommy's deal. He wept.
Snotty.
I loved you. Still do. Lie or delusion. Future me scoffed. But present Eva pitted, the boy twisted by her web.
No.
Final. Raise your real family elsewhere. He slunk away. Shadow and fog. Closure? Or prelude? Thanksgiving loomed. Turkey and tension. Miko hosted. Polish pierogies mixing with turkey, fusion family. Rafa joined.
Tentative.
Carving knife steady. Theo kicked approval. But phone rang mid-meal. Ruiz. Jake skipped bail. Last seen heading south. Watch your back. The hunt reignited. Tension coiling tighter. Winter clamped Chicago in iron. Wind off the lake howling like Lydia's denied appeals. Theo arrived December 20th, 2022, 2 weeks early, screaming into a world I'd clawed back from ashes. 8 pounds, dark curls, eyes like Rafa's storm gray.
Fierce.
Hospital room glowed sterile. Monitors beeping victory. Rafa held him first, awe cracking his dock facade. Hey, little man. Dad's here.
Dad.
The words sealed it. We'd try. Slow burn. No rush to alter. Miko paced outside. Cigar stubbed, uncle proud. But joy shadowed, Jake fugitive. Feds plastering his face on postals. Armed and dangerous, the alerts blared. Though I knew better, coward. Not killer.
Still.
Security at the hospital doubled. Discharge brought a tale. Plain sedan idling curbs. Home now Pilsen duplex. Miko's spare tricked out. Crib by window overlooking murals of La Llorona. Guardian ghost. Nights blurred. Feedings. Colic cries. Rafa's rotations overlapping mine. We danced around it, kisses stolen over bottles. Talks deep into dawn. Loved you then, he admitted. Theo nursing. Rand because I wasn't enough. Enough. The echo of Lydia's taunts. You're more than.
Now.
But revenge's embers smoldered. Lydia's prison letters arrived, perfumed stationery. Pleas veiled as apologies, for Jacob's sake. Drop charges on him. Burn them. Ashes in the windy city gusts. Jake's trail went cold, Mexico whispers. Cartel ties via her old laundering routes. Ruiz, we'll get him. Focus on the kid.
Kid.
My anchor. Spring thawed. Controversy reignited. Dateline special. Empire of Lies. The Harlan betrayal. Me. Pixelated. Voice modulated. She wanted perfection. We weren't it. Ratings gold. But backlash bit. Trolls doxing Rafa's practice. Homewrecker enabler. We lawyered up. Countersuits flying. Public eye twisted truth. Was I avenger or opportunist? Rafa's hand in mine. Let him talk. We're real. Theo's first mark time. Smile at 3 months. Roll at 5. Crawling brought chaos. Pilsen stoops his playground. Murals his ABCs. Miko taught Polish curses, band, Rafa. Stethoscope games. Family. Forged in fire's wake. But tension simmered. Anonymous drops at the door. Harlan crest envelope. Inside photos. Me at the ER. Theo in his crib.
Stalker.
Jake? Or her proxies. Summer heat returned. Sticky as unresolved sins. I resumed nursing.
Part-time.
Lucas pediatrics. Irony thick. Kids like future Theo. 1 shift. Chart review. Opioid script flagged. Doc's name Hale's cousin. Lydia's tendrils. Post-prison. I reported it. Quiet, another thread pulled. Climax brewed August. Heatwave redux. Call from a burner. Jake's voice. Gravel.
Eva.
Meet me. One last time. Foreclosure. Voice distorted. But plea raw. Location. Abandoned warehouse off the Dan Ryan. The warehouse. Fate's cruel joke. Heart seized. Why there? Static laugh. Poetic. Come alone. or Theo pays. Trap or suicide note. I called Ruiz, but she was out stakeout. Miko, don't.
Sis. Cops.
Rafa, I'm going.
No.
Solo. As demanded. Packed the .38. Kiss Theo's curls. Mama's got this. Drove south. Dusk bleeding red. Radio static preaching sin. The warehouse loomed. Chainlink sagging. Graffiti ghosts.
Inside.
Echoes amplified. Footsteps mine. Then his. Jake emerged from shadows.
Gaunt.
Tattoo fresh on neck. Cartel ink.
Eva.
No gun. Just desperation. Heard about the baby. Congrats. Venom laced. Cut the shit. What do you want? Voice echoed. Future screams layering. He paced. Feral. Everything. Mom's rotting. Firm's gone. You won. One.
Pyrrhic.
Sign over the last assets. Then vanish. He stopped. Eyes manic. Or what?
Feds close in.
Mexico's hell. Running from her ghosts too. Her. The puppeteer. Even caged. She owned you.
Jake.
Always. He lunged. Not attack, clutching my arms. Help me. Lie for the trial. Say I was coerced.
Coerced.
The word ignited. I shoved. .38 out. Like you coerce me? Pills. Slaps. Fire plans. He froze. Backing. Fire? That was her crazy idea. I said no.
Lie.
Future-proof. His text to goons. Make it quick. Bullshit. Click of hammer. He dropped to knees. Sobbing.
Please.
For us.
Us. Dead.
Sirens wailed. Backup?
No.
My trap. Phone in pocket. Ruiz looped in silent. Cops swarmed. Jake cuffed. Blubbering.
Eva.
Don't. But I turned.
Cold.
Rot. Like her.
Outside.
Rain, always rain. Washing clean. Ruiz nodded approval. Good call. He's singing already. Full confession. Twist hit like thunder. In his wallet. A letter from Lydia.
My boy.
End it. For the family name. Suicide note? Or murder-suicide bait. Forensics later. Poison vial in his pocket. Her print. She'd planned us out. Frame me. Unstable wife drives husband to despair. The depth. Even jailed. Scheming to the grave. Fallout. Headlines flipped. Harlan Ayre's final betrayal. Jake plea bargained. 20 years. Lydia added conspiracy charge.
Life.
Justice. Jagged. But my controversial call. Mercy. I visited her once. Supermax Gray. Why? Voice through glass. Hers cracked. You took him. Him. Legacy. You took mine first. Silence. Then, forgive.
No.
But I left a photo, Theo's first steps. Live with it. Outside. World breathed easier. Theo's second birthday. Cake smeared. Rafa proposing on knee. Ring simple.
Silver.
Second chance.
Yes.
Vows in Pilsen Church. Murals witnesses. Yet tension lingered. A scar's itch. Late nights. Theo asleep. I'd wake sweating, flames. Screams. Revenge won. But cost? Pieces of me charred. years folded like origami, sharp creases marking growth. 2025 now. Theo 3. Terror in sneakers, chasing pigeons in Grant Park. Curls wild, laugh shattering winter's grip. Rafa, and I married proper. Hyphen life, Kowalski Harlan. Reclaiming the name on our terms. Practice in Ukrainian village. Pediatrics with a side of therapy, helping kids like the ones Lydia's pills broke. Miko sober 5 years. His garage thriving custom bikes. Polish flair. Family Sundays. Pyrgos. Football on TV. Theo calling him Mujexum. Idol.
Hard one.
But ghosts prowl edges. Jake's appeals denied. Lydia's health failing, cancer. Ironic eater of empires. Letters cease, rumors of regret. Controversy clings, faded ink. Podcast invites, survivor stories. I decline most. But one, true crime junkies I take, voice steady. Revenge isn't justice. It's survival. Listeners debate, vigilante or victim. I don't care. Theo's safe. That's score. Spring 2025. Bloom riotous. School hunt for Theo. Public. Diverse. No Harlan shadows. Open house at a Logan Square charter. Murals again. Kids rainbow riot. He tugs my hand. Mama. Look stars. Mobile echo. Heart swells. But tension spikes. Call from Ruiz. Retired now. Coffee clatch. Old case file. Lydia's dying wish. See the boy.
Boy. Theo. No. Firm.
But she presses. Closure. For you. Closure. The word mocks. I hang up. Stewing. Rafa finds me on the stoop. Head in hands. Her.
Nod.
He sits. Arm heavy. Your call. But he's ours.
Ours.
Blood and choice. Nights. I wrestle. Mercy's controversy. Let her die alone. Or humanize the monster. Decision brews hot. Visit. Alone. Supermax drive. Miles of flatland. Soul searching. Glass partition.
Her wird Herr Chemobite.
Eyes sunk.
Eva.
Whisper. Not command.
Isit. Silent.
She clutches receiver. The photo. He looks like you. Like me. Not taint. Why? Old question. New weight. She coughs. Ragged.
Fear.
Jacob's father.
Weak.
Died running debts. I built walls. You breached them. Breached. Love as threat. Theo's no breach. He's light. Tears track her cheeks. Pearls absent. Forgive me? Controversial crux. Absolution or ash. Future me. Reborn. Whispers burn. But present. Mother. Sees mirror, flaws refracted. Not forgive. But free. I stand. Live knowing you lost. Outside. Air sweet. Chains invisible shed. Back home.
Tausha hug ida disida.
Missed you.
Manga.
Dinner. Rafa stir-fry. Miko's jokes. Bedtime story. Polish folktale. Dragon slain by wit. Not sword.
Tausha leap.
Chest rising even. Twist finale. Weeks later. Her death notice. Quiet.
No fanford.
Enclosed will. Trust for Theo. Modest. Strings cut. For the grandson, I never knew. Gesture or guilt. I bank it. Untouched. College. Maybe. Or burn. Summer solstice. Lakefront picnic.
Theo bư san casten.
Rafa sketches. Miko grills kielbasa. Laughter free. Tension threadbare. Hook's echo. That funeral whisper. Real grandchildren. But Theo's real, messy.
Mine.
Reply then stunned her. Now. It stuns me. Survival's the stun. Sun dips. Skyline gilding. I lean into Rafa. Second life. He kisses temple. Best one. Theo runs. Arms wide. Family. And in that embrace. Rebirth complete. Not revenge's fire. But dawn's quiet burn.